Well, hello there. I'm Mike Simon, a meteorologist here at WBIR, and today we're going to talk about a few things that have happened recently. Of course, we had some massive flooding in a very finite area and why that was going on, and also all the rain that we received lately, if that has alleviated any drought conditions, and what will alleviate more drought conditions as we head into summer. Also, we have Daniel Benyot.
Hey, Mike.
Is that right? Yeah.
You got it, Benyot.
And he's going to be chiming in and helping me out with this weather chat since our chief meteorologist is out in Cocke County. He's covering the flooding that's been going on there. So
let me see real quick if we have a live shot of Todd or not. This might go black if there's no signal.
Oh yeah, he's getting ready.
He's not there.
Not there yet, but he will be.
I'm going to be spying on Todd if he comes up. Todd and Katie.
I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hey, we've had a lot of rain lately, haven't we? Some folks have had like up to 10 inches of rain over the past week and a half. Others haven't had quite so much, but at least we've had quite a bit of rain that we need, and it's been over a period of time. But this last event that just happened this morning, I mean, you got 5 inches of rain in 2 hours or so. That's problematic, especially when it's in some of the hilly areas, and it has to run somewhere. So let me go ahead and show you 24 hours of amount of rainfall that we have. We can go to max 2 instead of max 1 on that. I think that's what it's on.
How about that?
There it is. I finally got it for you. A little technical difficulty, but at least we got it solved. This is showing the area that got all the rain. Now, we had some rain elsewhere, right? But this area, which is right on the northern line of Cocke County and the southern line of Greene County. And as much as 5 inches of rain or near that fell in a very finite area in only a couple of hours' time. You can see the time frame at the top. The event started somewhat at 4:30 and then picked up. That was early this morning and lasted through 7 o'clock before the rain moved on. Now, what was going on is we had the rain develop in that area, but it kept developing. It just kept going over and over. And when you have training like that, we call it training because it's like going over a carpet. If you go over a lot, you create a rut, right? Well, you have rain go over a lot in the same area, you're going to produce some flooding.
Caught a lot of people off guard today.
Sure did.
Very sad, fatally in one case.
Yes, I heard about that. And if you recall, back in 2024, we had a kind of a micro event like that too that was in Dollywood.
I remember.
Yeah, flooded the parking lot and everything.
The park had to close. We had video of water rushing through some of the most popular shops and attractions.
Exactly.
Cars up to however high in the parking lot. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was. And I was there that day. I remember seeing it happen and unfold, and it was just a lot of flooding in a very short amount of time. Well, this is very similar. And when the water has to go somewhere and the ground's already been saturated, and that's another thing. When you get rain that heavy and it's already been saturated, it's just going to run off. And it has to run into the streams, into the Pigeon River up there and a few other tributaries, and eventually into the area lakes. Now, this is, I got a few pictures to show you of the flooding that we received. This is, we have to credit TDOT, Cocke County, Fowler Road, and you can see it's completely flooded. They blocked it off. They don't want anybody to be driving in it because, of course, you drive in water, your car gets displaced very quickly and will just float on away, and you'll be taken along with it. This is Cocke County flooding again, and you can see we have Dallas Short to thank for this photo. You can see that it did cause the building there to be completely taken off its foundation, it looked like, and washed a little bit. We also had some mudsliding going on. Of course, we have terrain, and that water coming down from the hills and from the mountain, it just picks up all that debris and anything else and carries it all the way down, and that is a lot of force. Water is heavy, and so is that debris.
Yeah. If I can just read a quotation we got from Cocke County Sheriff C.J. Paul real quick. And folks, we're recording this just before 4 o'clock afternoon on a Thursday. But if you're listening to this later, this will just give you a sense of the scale and the response. Cocke County Sheriff CJ Ball, all emergency services are active and working diligently. Road departments and other services are working as well. We advise citizens to stay off the roadways in these areas due to the dangerous road conditions and emergency workers traveling to each location.
Mm-hmm. And I believe the unfortunate fatality we had of a woman, she was trying to get something out of her car.
I think we heard that she may have been walking to her car trying to get something out of it. I don't know if that detail is confirmed, but the sheriff did say that for sure she had walked outside her house, and for all we know, it may have seemed like it was going to be okay to go out and get something real quick, but in a flash flooding event, things happen so quickly, and she was unfortunately swept away.
Well, one thing a lot of people don't realize either is when you have flooding like that, the surface may look like it's stable, but underneath you may have a river of water flowing pretty quickly. It's just like if you're swimming in the ocean and you don't notice that there's a tide issue, and you could be swept right out to sea in a short amount of time because you got those little rivers of water underneath that you don't see on the surface. And the same thing can happen with flash flooding. And it'll just take everything away with it. That's why it's dangerous to be driving through and, of course, walking through any floodwaters. There's another picture for you, and that just shows some of the debris and problem. Now, this one, it really impacts the folks that see the picture because you look at the flooding that happened. It's up to the house. The car is submerged. It looks like it's a little bit tilted from the water. You can see how the water picked it up, the back end of that car. And you don't want to be in it when that happens. And unfortunately, that was just a car that was probably just parked there.
And just a little while ago during 10 News at 3 here on the streaming platform, we had Katie Inman live out there talking with Robin Wilhoit. And she was saying some of these areas that looked this bad at the time these pictures were taken earlier today, so much of the water's already gone because it comes in and then it recedes.
Yep, and then you got a muddy mess.
Yeah.
you gotta clean up too, especially if it gets inside buildings and things. Your cars get just nasty. So this one's in Parrottsville. That is, of course, a gas station. The water came up real fast. And, of course, it's trying to recede. Now, I'm going to switch gears a little bit there. We showed you all that flooding and wanted to indicate how we need the rain. I know we don't need it like that, but we've had a deficit every single month, except for this one finally. We're finally getting some rain, and we got a bit of a surplus here. Now, this is at the airport. Of course, 3.91 inches is less than what they got up there in Cocke County in just a couple of hours. But this is the main place that we take the readings. And if you look at the average rainfall, typically this month isn't that much. It's usually July that has a lot more rain than any other month. December is rivaling that. And that leads us to the drought monitor. We have last week's and the latest showing you that the drought has shrunk somewhat. The area, there's extreme drought still, but it's not as much real estate coverage as it was last week. A lot of folks wonder, well, we got all this rain. Why hadn't it alleviated it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good question. They look at all kinds of things. It's not just the amount of rain that comes down. They have to look at, the lake levels, the river levels, the soil moisture. They look at evaporative rate. They look at temperatures. A lot of things factor in to trying to figure out if you're still in a drought or not. And it usually takes a few events, especially in a drought like this, to even come out of it. So you just got to be patient, and we'll have to just slow down and watch it evolve. Some of the lakes are already up a couple feet. I think Dandridge, the lake out there, is up maybe about 4 feet already.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it's coming up. The water gets, eventually drains off the excess in those lakes. So we need it. This is showing the dew point temperatures, and I've showed this before, but it indicates that, we still have a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. Still got that flow coming out of the Gulf. So that's why we still have good chances of rain. This is the fun one, the PWAT.
Yeah.
Precipitable water. And you notice it comes down a little bit here for tomorrow. but it then increases tomorrow night into Saturday. That's when we're going to have the best chance of rain. And when you get up over 2 inches of precipitable water in the column, you could get some pretty good downpours in a short amount of time. Flooding's the biggest concern, of course, right now because our ground is saturated.
Right.
So we're going to have to watch that very carefully.
We're going to have to wrap up here in a second, Mike, but for this next week going into the start of June, how much more of this can we expect with rain and saturated ground, and just what's the experience going to be?
Well, we'll probably, if we get a lot of rain come Friday late into Saturday morning, a lot of times there are just some flood advisories issued. If we get anything like this event, we're going to have flood warnings go out. Hopefully it won't be anything like that because we are trending downward in the rain chances now. Next week, some dry air is coming in. There's a 7-day. We got high pressure coming in out of Canada down the East Coast, and that will push everything southward. So we'll get a few days anyway of some much drier, lower dew points, and some nice conditions. So there we have it. And we thank you for tuning in and watching us. And we'll be back next week with the 10 Weather Chat. I'll see you then.